Good evening, everyone, and welcome to day six. And today is the last day for No Conference 2026. From day one to day six, it has been totally impactful. And if you had not really watched any of the videos you missed, please do so. And if you have not invited anyone to join you in today's session, please also do so. You've not liked, you've not followed us, you've not shared, please do that as soon as possible. Without wasting much time, let us take a quick run. What is this all about? This snow conference is brought to you by answering tough questions from children and teens, ATQ for short. We are a growing community of parents, carers, trusted and safe adults with it present on WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram. Our main objective is to ensure that children and
So now let your testimony go enter. No need to back down, you are there, your matter. All things are working to
So sorry about that. I think the network has been throwing me in and out of the good. All right. So without wasting much time, the No Conference is brought to you by answering tough questions from children and teens, ATQ for short. We are a growing community of parents, carers, trusted and safe adults with its presence on WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram. Our main objective is to ensure that children and teenagers get the right, correct, and appropriate answers to their questions, and to ensure that parents, carers, and safe and trusted adults are equipped to give the right answers and have meaningful conversations. This we achieve through our monthly webinar, How We Do It, where we learn and share our monthly book reviews and offering answers, suggestions, and solutions to questions sent to the community. Now, without wasting much time, I know Mrs. Oboko has a lot to tell us before we proceed because our speaker is already in the house. Good evening, ma.
All right, good evening, everyone. Happy to be back here and so grateful to God that today is the last day of No Conference 2026. We thank God for how far He has led us right from the first day we started and up to today and this moment when we are having the 14th session. Indeed, it has been a banquet of knowledge, and I hope and I know that you have been blessed since we started. We will no longer complain about darkness, but we are going forth raising shining lights. Children who will shine the light of God in every sphere of life. Children who will shine the light of God everywhere they go. Thank you once again for joining us right from the start of this conference up until now. And we trust God that we will have an amazing session now and then by 6 p.m. This evening, remember yesterday afternoon we started talking tech. We had Uncle Dennis coming and talk to us about we had Uncle Dennis coming yesterday and he talked to us on the topic understanding the new tech landscape, key innovations shaping today's world. If you haven't watched that session, please go and watch it. These sessions are not just for your children, they are also for you. Every tech session we had in No Conference covers both children and adults. So you watch, get your husband, get your wife, get your older children to watch, get your siblings, get your everybody you know. There's so much in it for you to learn. And after that, we had Dr. Charles Onoha coming to talk to us about tech-driven career pathways, understanding emerging opportunities. An amazing session. We had a great time yesterday looking at this. And today, we have we have Coach TJ. We call him Coach TJ. His name is TJ Chunu, but we popularly call him Coach TJ. And Coach TJ is going to be talking to us on the topic guiding children in a tech driven world. Guiding children in a tech driven world using technology as a tool, not a master. Once again, gather everybody you know who should be in this session, who is raising children, to come in and learn. Remember yesterday, towards the closing, Charles told us that we should learn, get these skills, master it, so that you know when the borders are, so that you know when your children are beginning to cross the line, so that you will know when boundaries are being crossed, are being violated. If you don't know, if you are not a master, if you don't know some of these things, you won't even know when things are going wrong. And that's why we are bringing in this session on safety, understanding your role in the lives of your, on guiding children in a tech driven world, using technology as a tool, not a master. And that's what we are here to learn this evening. Please, if you have not invited anybody to be here, why? Please invite as many people you know who should be a part of this session. Let them come in and let's learn again. And we trust God that we will leave here blessed because of the things we'll be hearing. The world is changing, technology keeps evolving, and then we need to also be up to date on what is happening. Please share the link, share to everybody. If you have not been sharing, please do today. Once again, don't forget to take notes, don't forget to write, and also don't forget to practice the things you will be learning. Once again, thank you so much for being here. Over to you, Priscilla.
Thank you so much. Before we proceed, we have a very powerful testimony. When we have a very short summary of what this is all about, we say we have a growing community where we read books and we have our book reviews at the end of every month. Now, I want us to pay attention to this very short testimony. Now, Dr. A said something. I've been so blessed by this month's book review, and I've learned a lot from handling stress and taking care of our heads to forgiving others. Anger, fear, bitterness, and stress trigger chronic diseases, pain, and depression. The difference between guilt and shame, doing away with worry, the power of choice, even in extreme circumstances, sustaining emotional freedom, true peace and rest. We need to forgive intentionally for our good. So we are not just all about teaching people tech, education, and the rest of this. We also have a place where we read books, we review it, and people learn from it. Without wasting much time, I know our speaker is already here, and a whole lot of persons are already expecting him. Let us play a very short biography of our speaker, then he comes on stage.
Coach Teejay Chunu. Coach Teejay Jerry Chunu, fondly called Unusual TJ, is an idea and brand communication strategist by day, but as U.S. certified family wellness coach, a family system, engineering and design associate practitioner, an NLP practitioner, a certified teens and youth leadership coach, and a digital parenting coach by design with over 27 years of experience. He helps parents and institutions raise resourceful and high-performing teens with strong entrepreneurial and leadership skills who are responsible, safe, and productive online. He is a resourceful trainee and had led trainings for NNPC, Edo State Government, Access Bank, Google Digital Skills, and more. He is a passionate social entrepreneur whose commitment to teenage development has led him in running projects that have reached over 50,000 teenagers. He is a member of the Police Community Relations Committee, a Toastmaster, a Rotarian, married with 5 children. Welcome Teejay Chunu as he speaks on the topic, Guiding Children in a Tech-Driven World, using technology as a tool, not a master.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. Can you confirm you can hear
Welcome.
me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
That's awesome. Awesome. Yes. Thank you very much, my sister, Coach Stella. Thank you to everyone who's watching. Welcome to today's session. Today's session is going to be quiet. I wish it was a live class, where offline it would have been very, very interactive, but I think we can keep it as interactive as possible with our conversation here. I'm trying to upload my slides, but I don't know why this network today doesn't want you guys to see my beautiful slides. And then Coach Stella, I just shared them with you. So if you can come up from your end, that would be good. On the other hand, I'll try to share my screen here. Let's see how that goes. I'm so excited. It has been an impactful session. I have been following I followed a few sessions, and I told Coach Chunu when I met her in Abuja, why do you want me to come speak? It's been awesome back to back. And if you have missed the previous sessions, please take some time. One of the greatest investments you can give yourself in today's world is to, we popularly say, learn, unlearn, and relearn. Learning is a continuum. The moment as a parent you say, I know it all, I'm done, or I've achieved, or you're counting on your experiences, I can tell you that 5 minutes after your immediate experience, that experience actually expires in a new context, because the world keeps evolving. Your experiences adds data. Now imagine this: you are having this experience, and there are how many of us in this world? Over 7 billion human beings having these experiences. So imagine not the 7 billion are all married. Let's say we have 2 billion. We can even say 1 billion. Or we will say 1 million. 1 million of us having new experiences. That means we have 1 million new data feeding into the concept of parenting, in this context, digital parenting, because technology is making things evolve faster. That means we have 1 million. I try to read this solo. 1 million new experiences now fed into our reality. Our reality thoughts is the things we engage, we see, we experience, because learning comes from all sources. So reality is updated. In fact, I just gave you 5 minutes because I was trying to be lenient. Per second, it updates. So what you think you know actually is almost obsolete. Immediately you know it. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone listening to me. Whatever you think you awesome, thank you so much. Whatever you think you know becomes almost obsolete immediately you know it. So that's my slide. I'm a digital parenting coach, and I have had a lot of interesting conversations with parents in my sessions. And it's pretty much the same thing we experience. And here, you may not necessarily learn, or rather, you may not necessarily hear something new, but you might be hearing something that you may need to pay attention and walk through. So just a quick check-in. So those of you who are watching from wherever you're watching, I'll be trying to go through the comments. So please feel free to say hi so that I can see your comments as we go on. And by the way, to all my Arsenal fans, I want to say congratulations. We won the league. I told Stella, she put me Arsenal is playing the last match. Wow. Yeah. I'm an Arsenal, 22 years of patience. So congratulations to us. And if you don't like my excitement, please go and join Arsenal. That's all I will say. Go and join Arsenal. We won the league, okay? Today is not about football, but you can't take it away from the fact that it's something boys would love to talk about, and then men. And one of the reasons I say this is beyond just our engagement with technology, there are other things that can take our children's attention that are meaningful to their development. Sports is one. So let's do a quick check-in. I have 4 questions I want to ask you. Welcome again to my session. Now, I want to just lay a scripture, and it's going to sound like a resounding ball through this session, and it's Proverbs 22:6. It says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. I'll come back to the scripture, but I just want to lay its foundation and fundamental to every conversation as it regards parenting. So, a quick check-in before we look at the objectives of my session, and then we jump into and learn together. So, can we go to the next slide, please? Next slide. Awesome. So, I want you on the comments. For those who watch this, please ensure you go to the comments and you respond. So, how many devices does your child use daily, including your phone? I want you to please put in the chat. Thank you, Ini. I can see you there. Thank you so much. Thank you, others who are here. How many devices? I can help you here. There's TV. Don't forget TV. How many devices your children or your child, if it's just one, how many devices do they have access to? How many devices do they use in a day? I'd love to see that. I'll come back to the comments to read them after this session. 2, awesome. Awesome. I already have one saying 2. You're not alone. Whatever the answers are, please note that you are not alone. Okay? And for those of you who watch this later and say, oh, you said 3 or more, you're not alone. Please know that. Most Nigerian households are discovered to use phones, their tablets, their phone and laptop. Yes, I'm going to say laptops here. And these things, they multiply fast. You don't want them to use your phone, but they can have access to your phone. You get them their phone and all that. Remember, I said TV, now we have smart TVs and all that. Okay? But these gadgets, they multiply faster than children do in our homes. Okay? So that's not a biggie. You're not just alone. So my second question here. Does your child get upset when you take away their phone or their tablets? Aya. Let me hear your response. Does your child or do your children let's keep it going. Like I said, I want this to be very interactive. I don't want to be asking if you're here. I want to know you're here with your responses, please. So, oh yes, thank you, Stella. Thank you for being very, very honest. They do. Sometimes. Awesome. Now, for those of you who are going to watch this later, and those of you still watching now, the truth is, it's not whether if it happens. It's when it's going to happen. It will surely, certainly happen. It's part of their construct. Okay, third question there I have for you. It says, have you ever found your children watching something you didn't approve online? This is where I don't know who's telling the truth. Have you ever? Yes, so Odiri said, yeah. And sometimes you just like, where did they find this? How did they get there? The truth again is, whether you like it or not, this will also happen. Remember, you're not what's the word? You're not like Godon say, you're not Jehovah Uminikemu. You're not everywhere. Yeah, you're not everywhere. So you cannot necessarily know everything, and sometimes you get to learn from them. So also note this: you are not alone. Great, yeah. Finally, do you have a written family rule for technology use in your home? Now, this is where I want to see. Now, this question is not meant to judge you. Note that it's not meant to judge you. It's just meant, like I said, to help you get a check of what technology is making of you. Also, I'm seeing yes from Stella. Awesome, Stella, that's great. That you already have a written rule. And this is where I said, initially when I started, I said, you may not necessarily be hearing something new. Some of you must have heard of technology rule. You may be asking the question, what's a technology rule? It's just simply asking, what are your family values? How do you do what you do at home? Thank you. Mojira says yes. Pauline says yes, using their phones at night, watching film not allowed to watch. That's part of the question sometimes. Can you really know every film they watch? Okay, especially when they use device, if they use devices in school and all that. Okay, great. So can we jump to my next slide? I want to show you some simple data. Okay, yeah. Our learning objective basically for three things we'll be looking at here. It's just understanding the global and local data on children's tech use. Remember, our topic is guiding them in a tech. So we are guides. Note that carefully. And that's why I gave us that scripture. Train up a child like the coach. Oh, permit me to go back to Arsenal. Like the coach who coached Arsenal to success, he didn't play one game. Note that the coach did, no matter how the coach was at the sideline yelling, he didn't get into the field to kick the ball. And that's what error we make. We want to get into the child's life and determine how the child responds. You are not responsible for how the strikers scores the goal or how the defender defends the goal. Permit me, I'm going to go a lot of Arsenal today. You're not responsible. What you're responsible is training the child, the player here as a child, to have the capacity to score and allowing them score, express that capacity in their own creative way. So, dear parents, please, this is just saying as we launch into this learning, is that while you expect certain behavior from your child, you cannot script how that behavior manifests. Oh, I wish I could explain that more than this, but that would be taking me out of my lesson. Okay, in as much as you expect a particular behavior, you cannot determine how that behavior is expressed. So you want to say, my child is a good or a responsible child. What does responsible mean? Now you get the question. We can define responsible. If you go back to, I think I joined in when Irene was teaching and she was talking about the good girl and all that, what we think it should be and what it really is. You get to realize that in different contexts, you can actually define your child's behavior as you expected if you understand that it mustn't conform to the eventual play out that you expect it to play out. Okay, so our learning here, like I said, you understand the global and local data on children's tech use. Identify warning signs as tech as a master in the home, or either tech has mastered your home. And then 3, apply the guide framework practically, which I'll show you as we proceed. So let's look at some data. Quick, thank you so much. Research has shown that this research was done in the US, and it's shown that children spend 7.5 hours on screen daily between the age of 8, let's say from 5 to 18. Now, there's interesting data that it will be so hard. When I was putting my write-up together and I had to make a few research and I was reading certain things, I was like, oh my. I'm going to share this because I'm still struggling a bit with it as well. So, but it shows that a child spends 7.5 hours on screen daily, averagely. Now, most times you can manage the time they spend on the screen with you. Have you considered how much they do, even when you're in church? I've walked into the junior church and I have seen them gathered, probably in between services or after service or even during service, watching. Sometimes those we have in junior church are not tech smart to understand what or how the children use devices. In schools, they'll tell you they are studying or copying notes online, and they can multitask, trust me, and make a fool out of you. So you may be thinking you're giving them 2 hours at home. But when you look at how much exposure they really have, they are most likely spending more than the 2 hours. Okay, and that's nearly a full working day. The time you use to work, that's the time they spend online. Like somebody said today, he said today we work online. Okay, but if a child spends that amount of hours online between 5 and 18, if you calculate that, that's about 35,000 hours of their childhood. And if you break 35,000 a year, we have, I think, about 8,000 plus hours in a year. If you divide that by 8,160, I guess, or so, you can check that online. That means they have spent 4 years of their life online. So from 15 to 18 or 8 to 18, which is 10 years or 13 years, they have spent 4 years online. Question: what is the return on investment? Remember, everything we do is, or notice this rather, everything we do is an investment. Sleep is an investment. Talking is an investment. Okay, so going online, spending your time is an investment. Time is the most critical resource we all have. So what has that 4 years amount to? Just pleasure, just entertainment, or just learning that shows in certain outcomes? And most likely, learning is part of the default thing we invest in. But the question is, what are they learning? Could be learning cultures, learning habits, and all that. Okay. Data also says that 103 million internet users in Nigeria. That's from Data Reporter 2024. 103 million. In Nigeria, we are over 200 million. 103 million. Nigeria is the largest internet market in Africa. You know our country. You know, someone says we are good for consumption, but not production. And that should worry us, because this consumption starts in the home. Okay, so are we helping? Now, this is another food for thought. Are we helping our children think of creating, or just helping our children acquire so they can consume what is created? So let me say this. The introduction of God in Scripture is Him as a creator. In the beginning, God created. So the first thing God showed us is His ability to create. And there's a whole lot I can say that. But let me just pick something from this. If God's introduction is creation, and we were created in His image by default, we are creators. But I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. Unfortunately, a lot of us are investing in consuming the created rather than in becoming the creators. How do you invest to become the creator? Now, this is a little bit out of my conversation, but I just thought to say this because it's important with our use of technology. We may not be able to invent, but we can create. Not everyone can invent. Everyone has the capacity, but not everyone will invent, but everyone can create. So with the time we spend online, are they creating from yesterday's session genuine source of income by learning in the new career path what to do? Are they also, now it starts to say this, that many of us pray, and I'm happy, this is a faith-based organization. We pray a lot and we do that, but the future we pray for are being created by some people who may not even be praying. I'll say that again. The future you are praying for, the future you want to wake up into, the future you want to have is being created by somebody who is creating. So the question here, if we're having this number online, if you are having this tool for your child, which is a conversation we're having, it can become a tool or a weapon. Are you helping them learn how to use that tool to create the future? Somebody created Facebook. Somebody created Paystack. Somebody created a lot. There's a seller that's Nigerian. People are creating things here and are outselling. Okay, are your children created? Okay, we have another study that says young Nigerians here, 50 million plus on mobile phone and social media platforms. That means 1 in 3 internet users is a child, according to UNICEF. It says that 1 in 3 internet users is a child. So if we have 103 million internet users, divide that number by 3, your children is one of those who make that number. Here is the reality. Children today are born into the digital world, unlike us who we graduated, we grew into it as teenagers. Today's child gets a screen before they can read. They are not digital immigrants. They are digital natives. The question is no longer whether our children will use technology. The question is who will be in charge, and that's what I've been talking about. Who will be in charge, them or their devices? Let me ask you a question here, and I want to see you put this in the chat. Yeah, before we go to this slide, you can go back to the other slide. Before we go to this slide, I don't want you to be distracted by this. Please go back to the previous slide. Thank you. Yeah. I want to ask you a question. If your child has a fundamental question, who do they run to first? Google or you? Please respond, or my son is here, is adding ChatGPT. If your child has a question, who would they run to first? Please put it in the chat. If your child has a question, sometimes questions that may shake your own belief. It could be about God, it could be about something, your culture. Will they run to ChatGPT, Google, or they run to you? ChatGPT and Google is tech on one side, or they run to you. Please put that on the chat. Anyone wants to respond to that? If your child has deep questions, will they run to tech, ChatGPT, or Google, or will they run to you? Oh, I'm waiting to see the response. This sounds a little bit tough. I know someone is saying they don't have phones, but do they still ask you questions? And even if they have phones or have access, the question is, do they still ask you questions? Most likely, I think the response I'm going to see is they go online, some go to social media, some go elsewhere. That is a big red flag waving in your face, because the device is actually in charge. Okay, now let's move forward and let's see this data. And this data is important, because if you do not know these things, what happens is that you get yourself thinking that you are doing so much, but you just be like this little fish in a big ocean, thinking it's conquering the ocean. Let's go into some talking points and let's look at the Nigerian digital reality, and let's bring it closer to us. Can we go to the next slide, please? Thank you. So what's happening in our homes right now? TikTok users in Nigeria soared 57% in 1 year. 37.4 million users, mostly young people. This is almost the population of Ghana. Almost one full country. And if you go to TikTok, you have more of young people, children there. The alphas are there. Okay? Nigerian internet now average 6 hours. We're talking about 7 hours globally, but now Nigeria 6 hours 30 minutes daily. That's from that research. That's no longer, it's longer than they did sometimes. Yeah, the time these children spend in school. Question is, what's happening in those 6+ hours? Boys are more likely to be on gaming and pornographic content. Girls on social chats with strangers. That's a study from Lagos. More chatting. Why are our girls chatting? They are looking for attention, for companionship. Children, who are as small as they are, when I say companionship, not in the context that we're thinking about it, but girls are created naturally to desire that. So early enough, if we are not putting those stopper, we are not helping them. Okay? So it shows that they want to chat, they want to communicate, they want to engage, they want to socialize. And they do it more with strangers online. Unfortunately, we have seen what has happened, how many of them get misled, killed, and all that. A lot of stories on social media you can see. How boys who are not directed or led or guided online end up in pornography sites. And, the rest is an unfortunate tale. Research on Lagos secondary schools show that students like excessive internet use. On Lagos secondary school students links excessive internet use to increase aggression and family dissatisfaction. I've seen that happen very close to me. Yeah, because they are committed. Online now gives them a pseudo reality that they want to bring in. And the children now think, because they do not have the capacity to fully interpret things, children now think that the world happens as they see it virtually. So they start to desire that their home becomes like what they see online. And that brings dissatisfaction, that brings aggression. You see them wishing they are not in the home, talking and wishing, because that's all they see. It's dominated their minds. This is a pointer to the fact that also technology is a master in the home. UNICEF confirms that parental involvement is the single biggest protection. The single biggest protection. Let's move to the next slide. This is why you need to be very involved in guiding your children. So does this sound familiar to you? Mommy, just 5 more minutes. Mommy, I just want to do something 10 minutes. And before 2 hours, they are still on their phone. Mommy, I'll soon sleep. It's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you go there, you see them under the pillow like this. with the phone and they are trying to hide it. Does this is this does this sound familiar to you? Your 8-year-old is better at navigating YouTube than you are with your remote. If my wife was here, she'll be laughing because she finds it hard navigating, but my children can, before you know, they're everywhere with it. Your child knows every trending TikTok sound. You see them doing all those and the steps and all that, but they cannot, even if you tell them to say the national pledge, they don't know it. If you are guilty, here, say I. Your children don't know the national pledge. If you are guilty, say I. The eyes have it. Okay. Yes. Yes, it's tough. And I know they're still asking me some deep questions. Okay, great. Yeah. Now this last one is for you. This very last one is for you. You set a rule, then your phone rings during dinner first, and then you tell your children it's an important call. It's a business call and all that. But yeah, if you are guilty as charged, come on and say I. You set a rule, yes. So it's almost like do what I say and not what I do. Remember, what you do models behavior, not what you say. The Wi-Fi password is the most guarded secret in your house to you. You guide it to everything. We also know that no matter how you guide it, the children will still find the answer. Does this sound familiar? Let's jump into the next slide, please. So let's see 10 signs that shows that technology is the oga in your house. And this is very critical. You need to notice these 10 signs. 1, your child greets the router before greeting you in the morning. They want to connect if you have a Wi-Fi. They want to connect to the Wi-Fi before they connect with you. It shows that technology is the oga in your house. 2, there's power outage. There's a family emergency. There's a black light, no touch lights on standby. But the solar energy to the TV and Wi-Fi is on. It cannot go off. That means technology is oga in your house. TV must be on. No, the Wi-Fi. We say like that advert that says data is life. 3, your punishment of taking the phone lasts for 30 minutes. You're grounded. And then they will lobby, tell you everything. They can use hours to tell you everything and make promises that they will not do it again. And you give them the phone after 30 minutes. Oga, madam, technology is the oga in your house. Remember, it's your house, not technology's house. It's your house. You're supposed to be using technology. And this is important, why you need to guide. Else, if technology becomes the oga in your house, you have seconded parenting to whatever technology exposes your children to. Number 4, they can't find their school bag, but they can find a YouTube video from 2017. When you're looking for something online, they know how to go and get it, bam. But just their book, they don't know what it is. Okay? Number 5, you have to schedule appointment via text to talk to your child. And this one happens in some Nigerian homes, so they shock you because I know I put it here. Yeah, for you, especially when you're teenagers, you have to send a message. I want to talk with you. When is it okay? You have to schedule conversation. And many of you are saying, that cannot happen. But if you are doing 1 to 4 or 1 to 3, 5 is where your destination is. Okay? If you are allowing unfettered access without parental guardians, 5 is already coming. It's coming for you. Let's move on, please, to the next slide. Number 6. 6 sign. Screen limit means the phone is now being held under the pillow. When you tell them that you can't use your phone by after 2 hours, then they keep the phone under the pillow. They've kept it. Ladies and gentlemen, who are we deceiving? Number 7, the child is learning Mandarin from TikTok but fails basic English in school. Oh yes, but they need to go global. Yes, but are they learning local? 8, they have 1,200 followers online, but they cannot name 3 real friends on the streets. And this is also worrisome. Million of followers online, but no real friends. And this is why it seems that our society is sick today, because everything is virtual, nothing is real. Why did we have some sort of real childhood experience void of so much of these mental health issues? It's because we had real connect. We had it. But right now, the connections here are most largely virtual, unreal, fictitious, imaginary. Okay? Number 9, the first thing they do in church is connect to Wi-Fi, not pray. The first thing they do is connect to Wi-Fi and not pray when they get to church. They're looking if church Wi-Fi is on. And then number 10, you can't sleep with your phone. You can't sleep without your phone nearby. This one is for you, dear parents. So that, your alarm will ring. Your phone has to be somewhere very close. It shows that technology is the Oga. And number 10 can override all. While the other ones will happen in your home to your children, is because number 10 is happening currently to you. Let's go to our next slide and let's look at some of the effects of excessive screen use. Awesome. Great. Thank you. The effect of excessive screen use. Sleep disruption. Children with screens in bedrooms. And that is one of the things I discourage. In bedrooms. Why would you have screens in bedrooms? They sleep, their sleep is not only disrupted over 45 minutes. So these children can tell you they are asleep, and the moment you go to sleep, they wake up and they are watching things. Why should they have? You see, blue light tells the brain that it's still daylight, and that's what this screen does. It brings this blue light. The child on the screen by 10 p.m. is biologically confused because God didn't create them to function that way. They're tired children, they become irritable, they struggle at school the next day, and are more emotionally reactive. Oh, living with Chris. Oh, yes, living with Chris. Yes. I'm happy you're being honest. If we are not honest to diagnose these things, then we may be wasting our time making rules. Those rules won't work because they work under your nose, they don't work in their hearts. So the goal is not to make things work under your nose, it's to make things work in your hearts. And if it works in your heart, just like I talked about the footballer, you have trained the player to be a fantastic striker, to score with different ways, make him what's the word? He's whenever he's at the goal, every defender is afraid because they know this guy one or two things to be a goal. Okay, because it has it in their heart. Attention and focus becomes a problem. TikTok, YouTube Shorts, that's what children go for. So you see, their ability to stay long on a thing is reduced because every 2 minutes they see things. Attention span has grown. Before, if you have to catch the attention of a child in your first 15 seconds, if what you are saying does not hit home, you've lost their attention. Right now, it has reduced to the first 4 to 5 seconds. And that's what TikTok, Facebook Reels or Instagram Reels, Snapchat, that's what it's feeding. It's training their brain for less than 15 seconds attention span. We wonder why our children can't sit 45 minutes church or class session. So they struggle, literally struggle through learning sessions in class. Because remember I talked about reality and learning at the beginning. What is training them is training them not to have attention. So they have short dopamine loops and reduce their patience. Also, what does excessive screen does, there is emotional regulation or irregulation. When a child's mood is controlled by how many likes they have online. That's unhealthy mental state. Higher rates of anxiety now happens, low self-esteem. They are now being defined by people's response because it's now extrinsic validation rather than intrinsic. What this screen does to our children. It also affects development of language. Screen exposure replaces parental-child conversation. Talking with the child more, you think that giving the child a screen because you want to do other things is helping you engage the child. It's disconnecting you from the child, making the child parented by technology, and then reducing the development. Children learn first. Or let me put it this way: you are the first model to reality to your child. So whatever your children see you do is the first impression they have. When they see you giving them a device, what do you think the impression is? I leave that question for my opponents to answer. They have physical health challenges, obesity, poor posture, and reduced gross motor skills. So they don't move a lot. They cannot be athletic in nature. And finally, what it also does is poor social skills. They cannot learn conflict resolutions from screens. They are weak-willed. They cannot even connect. You see this generation, they can sit by themselves for hours, but they can't strike conversations in places. Technology is obviously yoga and not you. So I want you to pause and write somewhere on your notes if you're watching this. Ask yourself, which of this is affecting me already? Which is affecting my children, rather. Which of these is affecting my children already? You need to note this, because if you're noting this, what we're going to do as I move towards wrapping up will not help you. Great. So let's move to the next slide, please. So let's look a core framework, technology as a tool and as a master. So as a tool, look at it. The child uses technology with a purpose and an end in mind. And you remember when I was talking about being a creator. So I am using technology as a tool. So you know you can have a car, or let me use a phone. Yeah. A lot of people use iPhone. And I know many of you will agree with me that the use of iPhone is largely underused by many of the owners, because the reason they have the iPhone is to be rated as an iPhone owner, and not because they are using iPhone to achieve why it was created. So iPhone is making money, yes, and I'm happy they are, but the users are underutilizing it. So if a child doesn't know that technology is a tool to achieve a thing and you can achieve things in set time, what happens? Technology becomes a master. So a child, on the other hand, the child has no purpose. It's just scrolling, looking for the next thing, looking for the next trending song, the next trending video, the next trending dance. Not that it's even using it as a tool to learn dance or to learn how to sing or to learn how to play instruments. You see, purpose as a tool, you see having a purpose and using it as a tool. Two here. Parent sets boundary with child understanding why. No, don't use it. Don't do this. That's what you always do. You're just punishing them or rewarding them. If you do this, I will give you this. No. They need to understand why. That means you need to have conversation. And that's why parental guidance is key. 3, tech is earned, not is earned and not a given, like dessert or not air. So if they have to, I want you to see the differences between the last and this. The other one, phone is the reward and not the punishment. Okay, that's where it is a master. But here, tech is earned. Tech is that it's at you're able to achieve XYZ, then you'll be able to get ABC. It's earned because you are working. One of responsibility to provide, yes. but not at the risk of endangering their future. So they get to value meltdown when device is removed and all that. And you ask yourself, how did we get there? You have provided. There has not been any communication, no engagement. Let's go to the next slide, please. Technology as a tool or technology as a master. The next slide, please. Child can easily put down a device when asked. So can you drop that device now? On the other hand, if the master, tech replaces family time, reading and outdoor play. Tech replaces all that. So there's no conversation with your children anymore. And we have the fifth one there. Technology enhances real-world activities. You're using technology to improve what you do at home. How can we use technology to learn? How can we use technology to communicate, to improve communication? How can you use technology to solve problems? On the other hand, parent has no idea what children they watch or play online. They were watching YouTube, they were dancing to Christian songs. There was a time where my children came home, or I came home, and I heard them. It was a beautiful song. What's that song? Apate, 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 apate. The groove and the beat and everything was just going on. I was like, oh, cool. What song is that? And they were trying to explain, it's so I went and I Googled it. So while they were there, and I Googled the song, I've forgotten what's his name? Something Bruno Mars, yes. And I went and I Googled it, and I now Googled the lyrics, and I played it for my children. And when they said what the guy was saying, it was apartment and all that, we're like, no, God forbid. And since then, they now have to listen to what is being said when anyone is singing, and not just what the beat makes them feel. Okay. Finally, here, parent is involved, aware of content and platforms. That's basically what I was just hitting. And then, where technology is a master, child mood is controlled by likes, views, and all that, like I had earlier mentioned. Okay. So the goal is not zero screen time. The goal is intentionality, intentional screen time, where your family values, not just the algorithm, are the guide. So the good news is that tech can be a superpower for your child. UNICEF research shows that parents who engage with them, who co-use technology with their children, develop stronger digital skills, better critical thinking, and are more protected from online harm, not less. Okay, children who are learning with their parents online. So the question you want to ask yourself is, are my children just learning online, or am I part of their process to learn online? Okay, so technology can be used to improve learning and creativity. Technology helps them. You've heard from yesterday's session about future-ready skills. There are a whole lot of economic opportunities right now, much more work available and more money to be made online right now than many of us did on the streets. And then it can be their superpower if they can learn safety or media literacy. I think yesterday also dealt with this a bit. So let's get into the guide framework, and as I wrap up for today. Next slide, thank you. The 5 practical strategies for Nigerian parents, what I call the guide, the guide framework. Govern with rules, not what? Reactions. Govern with rules, not reactions. Don't be reactionary. Not everything. A family without written tech rules is like a country without a constitution. Everyone does whatever they seem is right for them to do. So the family technology agreement is like your household constitution. Is what you do not just draw it. You don't draw it for them. You draw it with them. That's a rule created together. It's a rule better followed. And remember, you are helping them understand. So the first thing is govern with rules, not reactions. Don't be reactionary. Don't just always fret or flare up when they do something. Let the rule be what dictates the consequence of the outcomes. The you understand their digital world. The yous here understand. You cannot guide a territory you have never visited. Like I said, they are digital natives. We are the ones who graduated into the digital reality. So we need to understand how it operates. Let me ask each and every parent here. Have you ever thought what the world would be like in 2050? We're just hitting 2030. Oh. Maybe I'm even going too far. Have you ever thought? Maybe you want to just Google what would the world look like. Ask ChatGPT. You're going to be shocked at things you're going to hear. How technology will revolutionize our life. There are so many things that we do now that will not exist again. To not exist. It will be sound stupid in time in future that you still have this thing called a phone. Because you would not need it. Google, they are making smart glasses. They just launched recently. You don't need a phone anymore. Phones now come on wristwatches. Buttons can connect to the internet. Or something I saw, you can now have a drone, a mini drone flying over your head, walking over you. If rain, I saw that, it blew my mind. Rain wants to fall, it just forms umbrella. You don't, if the condition of your mind and the eyeglass is just seeing the sun, it will just form shade over you. Technology is going to change the future. We need to understand your world. Before you can protect your child, you must know exactly what is there that you are even protecting. Because sometimes it's just like, you see, because of security, we've built high walls. In those days, the walls were very low. Because of security, we build high walls. While we are trying to protect our children, we have imprisoned them from their social constructs. So you need to understand, you need to know what exactly is there. You need to download the app, put it on your phone, get a TikTok, create an account, spend some time, watch what happens there, know the kind of content that they can find. There are good contents there as well. Invest in alternatives. Invest in alternatives. And that's why I started with football. Boredom is one of their greatest enemy. Remember, technology feeds them this fast. What are the alternatives? A child who has nothing meaningful to do will reach for the nearest screen when there's nothing meaningful. So the activities have to have meaning, and they must find meaning in them. Your job is to make real life more interesting for them than TikTok. Will they easily run online or run to you because whenever they meet you, there's something new they want to do with you? D, demonstrate what you preach. The one single sting, this one stings, not just little, but is the main sting that can kill. Remember, children don't just follow what you say, they follow who you are, and who you are is seen in what you do. Research has shown that consistency there's a research. It just flipped me. But if I remember, I'll bring about something about consistency and children's. Children's behavior are consistently mirrored from the habits of the parents. Yeah, research show that. Okay, so you want your child to put the phone down at dinner, you first. Whatever you want them to do with technology, you do it first. Okay, there's a picture I have. I wish I put it here. I was always on the laptop. Next thing, my daughter will carry the laptop. Every time she sees me, I shave my head. She now came on the daddy, I must shave her hair. While she was growing up, and I, took all her hair off like mine. They will always mirror what you do. Finally, E, engage. Don't just restrict. The parent who only bans things raises a child who will sneak things. You know the stories, the things that your parents told you not to do, and the things you wanted to do, especially when you were out of the home. So engage. Let them know. You should be the first person that should show them possibly the door to more finding. So when they find, they are interested in coming back to share with you. The parent who engages, explains, that parent builds trust and raises a child who comes to them when something goes wrong online. Can we get to the next slide? Oh, my co-facilitator is here. Come on, take it, please. Okay, 4 traps Nigerian parents fall into. The peacekeeping parent gives phone to stop children from crying. The child learns meltdown is equals to screen time. Number 2 trap, the guilt of absence. Parents compensate for long working hours with unlimited screen time. The guilt is not love language, oh, please note that one. A 4th trap, the where Wi-Fi day parents. So proud their children knows how to use technology, they forget to ask what they are doing online. The only is give them access, give them access. And the 4th trap is the do as I say parent, and I have talked about that earlier. Scrolls Twitter or X right now at the dinner table, then announce a no phone rule. Credibility is what? 0. Can we get to the next slide? What intentional parents do differently? This is what they do. They are present, not just available. Physical presence plus emotional availability. Not on phone, at homework time or bed time. They are available. They are part of what their children are doing and learning. They co-use technology. They watch a documentary together. They discuss it. They play games with the children. Let the children win you, because the truth is they will win you. You wouldn't know this more than them. Comment on what they see. Ask them questions as well to say, when we watch, one of the things we do here, we watch movies together, and they must tell me what they learned from the movie, at least 5 things. So sometimes they want to watch movies, taking notes, because they must share, and they will ask questions, what do you think? How do you say this? And then you see, whenever they engage in anything or say anything new, they have the opportunity to want to come and share. And then they intentional parents ask great questions, and that's what I was also pointing to. What's the funniest thing you saw online this week? That opens more for conversations. And finally, the model self-regulation. Put your phone face down at dinner. Let the call come. Let them see that the call is not, when your children rush to you to say, Mommy, Daddy, they're calling you, it's because they know that's your whole attention. And now they have known that when this device rings or strikes, your attention, your loyalty, your importance goes there first, even over them. Okay? So put your phone down. Say, tell your children, I'm taking a screen break. Like after this, I'm going to take a screen break and be with my children. Okay? And pause and reflect. Next slide. You can ask yourself this question. What is one screen habit in your home you're not proud of? You must be very honest with yourself. Then you name one thing your child does on their device that you actually know nothing about. All these are just helping you reflect on the things you need to pay attention to know if you're actually guiding your child rightly, or if technology has become your guide in your house. And thirdly, you ask, if technology disappears tomorrow, what would your child do with their time? If you do not have an answer to this, you're a running time bomb. I have 2 more slides and I think I'm done. The other slide is just age by age technology guide for parents. And this is where, I even struggle with, because we have all adapting to technology. We are all faced with different challenges, and we are learning on the job. But go to the next slide, please. And that's on my penultimate slide. What your children should be doing if you have children. 0 to 2 years. What you should allow. Video calls with family. Let them see faces. Let the conversations be there. Possibly no screen time. There was a UN a research I was reading on screen time. It blew my mind. I felt so guilty. We thought playing all these Coco Melon and all that would help with our children. No, they were rewriting the program of their mind. That's why they grow to become very irritable or irrational. Avoid all recreational screen time. Avoid it as much as possible. The children between 2 to 5 years, 1 hour max. Like I said, we fight. Mine is 2 hours. I do. We fight. 2 hours max daily, and focus on educational shows. If not, the things they will start watching will blow your mind. And let them be watching it with you. Be interested. Like I said, always look for what they will learn from it. Avoid YouTube replays, all those things that just go on their own. Avoid giving this age their own device. They should not own a device at this age. Age 6 to 12. I give mine 3 hours anyway. But this is based out of research. And let it be on educational apps. Here is where you teach them, you are enforcing, subtly enforcing how to use technology with purpose. They have passion for coding. Help supervise what they do online. You're intentional with this. This is where you can really, this is at 12 is where you can really almost insist. Beyond 12, you can't do this kind of parenting again. So social media accounts, if they have, which I would recommend they necessarily don't, except is one you created for them. Yeah, and you can create that so that you can also start to teach them how the world works. So they use your accounts, most likely. Then 13 to 17, you negotiate with time with them. Help supervise. They get to know what they know. Don't attack them. When they have errors, let them be able to discuss it. But no phone in the bedroom at night. They don't have the right to take phones into the room. They can have phones, but should not be in the room at night. No phones in the room at night. And finally, as we wrap up, your assignments. I'll go to the final slide. This is my final slide. Your assignments. I'll go to the final slide, please. Great. Your assignments. From now, a 7-day assignment. Between today and tomorrow, one of the things you should do, and I will advise you do this immediately. If you do not have these action steps, then the learnings you have had from each session will not take effect in your life. First thing you do is audit. Choose your child and check every app on their device together. No shouting, just curiously asking, tell me what's about this app. What do you use it for? Ask questions. Children now, even my son, Roblox. And then even Roblox, he was in Roblox. I showed him what people were doing Roblox. That was value. He got to start to see that people were even making money. And I asked him, for your time you spent, what has it come back for? Now he has jumped into coding. He wants to create one or two things. Day 3, declare one meal per day as phone free for the entire family. So remember, you cannot just wake up because I've learned this, I want to do this immediately. But you can say, okay, maybe we have been using phone every time we eat. Can we start by saying, maybe dinner's no phone? It's a phone-free dinner. Start with dinners, and then before you know, you graduate into. That's something you can start to do from day 3. Remember, you're introducing this thing subtly. And number 4, draft a simple family technology agreement. Something like I'm willing to help you do if you don't know how to do this. Simple 5 rules, and make it with your child. Let them help you write it so both of you agree, and then both of you sign it. You can photocopy it, put one in your room, put one in his room, and every action and everything you refer to that. Take a photo and send them to maybe your family community if you have one. And day 6 is co-use. Here you are spending 20 minutes doing something digitally with your child. Do this when you come back from work. That time when you're just tired, if you can, and they jump on you. It could be okay after you've taken your bath or just before dinner or at weekends. Find time to co-use technology with your children in what they are doing. Play their favorite YouTube video, dance with it, or their games. Ensure you enter their world. Remember, I talked about that earlier. Enter the world first. And then finally, from day 7, please take this as you take in breath. Track your own screen time for 1 full day using your phone built-in tracker. There are a lot of trackers. It's there. If you go to your setting, it's there. You can download what's this other one? Why is the name jumping off my head? Rescue time is something else that can help you. Okay, track what you do. Write down the number. Even yourself be shocked how you use technology. My 20th slide says, jump 2 slides forward, because that's will just be my closing statement. Jump 2 slides forward. Now jump to the next one, the next slide. And I want to also say, the next slide, please. I want us to read this together. While you may be hearing so many things from this whole conference, and it may just be hitting you bam, 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 I want you to remember this, that success is not a day's job, it's a daily job. It's not a destination, it's a journey. So if you feel overwhelmed with many things you have heard, just tell yourself, I will do one thing today, and then I'll try another tomorrow. Don't try to make the whole change happen in one day. You frustrate yourself, and you subconsciously pass that frustration to your children. So don't kill yourself today if you're not getting it right, and if it has no immediate impact. Let's take gentle steps together, and it will turn out right. This is where I say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for this opportunity to share. And that's my last slide is saying thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to share. Thank you for the platform. And I hope this has been of value. I would like to be your digital parenting coach. I'd like to show you more and get you help you build more structures in your home when it comes to helping your children stay digitally purposeful with technology, master it, and then as a parent, help guide them into possible tech-related future. Once again, I'm Coach TJ. It's a pleasure to have been with you. Thank you so much, Coach Stella. Over to you, Priscilla.
Thank you so much, sir. That was very, very educational. If you have questions, please, we are still waiting for your questions. And meanwhile, sir, congratulations. You have two. Arsenal is leading 2-0. Congratulations. So, so Mrs. Stella, over to you.
Okay, oh, well done, Arsenal, for leading. Win in Jesus' name.
Amen. We have one. Oh.
All right, thank you so much, sir, for this insightful session. Thank you for. I like the dimension through which you took it. I'm happy that parents we got our goals, but parents, I don't think is anyone here feeling like he was speaking Latin on the things we need to do to guard our homes. I don't think anyone feels that way. Is there anyone that feels like all he was saying is Latin? Press this button, press the other one, cover it from here, open it through there. So thank you so much, sir, for making this very practical. Very practical. When you were saying we should check some of the things screen time is doing in our families, what I wrote out for myself is emotional regulation. I don't know why. Maybe coach, maybe you help me answer this. Please, if you have comments, question, please. I don't know why my boys like playing games that has to do with fight. Is it a boys thing? I have tried to stop it, but it's almost not working. Just maybe because daddy also enjoys such games. Maybe that's why it's not working. But you know, and this is me looking at this. I feel it's affecting emotional regulation in my own thoughts, where a simple thing that they are supposed to resolve because of how close their age are, you see them almost fighting over it. Thank you so much, sir. I wrote down here you can't guard a world you don't know or a world you don't understand. Before you know what you are guarding as a parent, before you guard, you have to know exactly what you are guarding. Thank you so much for laying emphasis on this. We need to understand the digital world. It's coming up again and again. Dear parents, we need to understand the digital world. I don't think what Coach TJ is saying this evening is that you should go back to the university and start studying computer science and just the very little basic things you should know about the internet, how these things up. Let's learn it. He told us even if it means opening a TikTok account, know what happens there. Just know how the interface is so that you even know what your children are doing there. Please, I'm waiting for your comments. I'm waiting for your questions. I also said something I wrote here. Parents who ban things will raise children who sneak things. So if you keep banning and banning what you don't know, they will keep sneaking. In fact, these children are too smart. They are too smart under your nose. They'll be doing things, and if you don't know, you don't know. And that's why we need to upgrade. Thank you so much, sir. So much value gotten. My question this evening is what's the appropriate age to give a child a phone? Get a child a proper phone, an Android or anyone. What's the appropriate age? I know that if you want to buy a SIM card, for a child. The child, if you want to buy a SIM card, anybody that's buying SIM card must be 18 years and above in Nigeria. But what's the appropriate age? What's your recommendation of age in which you can hand a phone over to a child as his phone,
Okay.
as his gadget?
Okay, amazing question, but I want to go back to there's the first question you asked, and I thought it was quite important that I talk about that a little. We talked about children playing games where they fight, and it's not. I just want you to know first, it's not happening only in your house. Okay, it's happening
Okay.
everywhere. So,
Oh, okay.
excuse me. So don't think. So don't think you have been hoodwinked or something. No, and I'll tell you a few things. I don't know. Let me start by asking you as a child, did you ever role play anything? Did you role play any any superhero, anything that was like a fantasy to you? Coach Stella?
Mm, not really. All our role plays were, then, a lot of stereotype growing up. So the role plays we did were more of cooking, motherly role plays. I can't remember
Good,
role
good.
playing all those
So
superheroes. I saw my brothers do so many times.
you saw your brothers did do what?
I said no. I know I saw my brothers role play superheroes. Then I'm trying to remember their names those days, but it was more of my brothers I saw role playing all those superheroes. But for me, it was
Great.
more of the
So I think you answered my
stereotypical things.
yeah. Yeah. So I think you answered my question because your mother was actually your superhero. So it's more of a yes. Children naturally will want to replay superheroes. For you, it was your mom. Unfortunately, from the stories we have been told growing up, there's this feeling of power, and that children want to also test when you act like so many persons. You act like, a lot of children now is some of them love Spider Man, some is Iron Man, and all that. So children like to pretend to be heroes or warriors and all that. So this sense of adventure, adventure is something that is risky, you know, um, puts them on that path of wanting to, and the adrenaline is always rising in them. And as they grow old, they become more curious about their abilities. So they want to test, can I do this? Can I do that? And all that. And playing fighting helps them explore this, and sometimes, if guided, explore their what is safe and unsafe. It helps them learn social boundaries. Psychologists will tell you that healthy play, such as fighting and all that, is part of their development. Okay, but it's our understanding this and understanding how to help use them, because for us, we see it as a problem. But if we understand it's part of development, we can now help them. Like I said, like my daughter, I see my daughter, she runs for a living. Take this to here. She takes off. Take it after church. Just here. So I just told my wife, you know what? I'll start taking her to the stadium. Let me train her running skills. Who knows? She can beat what's Amusan and become the fastest,
Istanbul.
Nigeria and all that. So how can I help develop that rightly and let her see strength? So I started showing her videos of children who run and do exercise and all that. And guess what? It's helping even push her energy into something. So it comes also with the age. It's not necessarily, another thing that influences that the movies that they see, and there's always this, like, I go back to, let me tie this also to the movies on one hand, but also tying it to the thing about superhero. When we talk about, even as Christians, we talk about God and devil. God, we are more than conquerors. We say that. What does it mean to conquer? It's like there's a battle and that you have won. So I want you to see that it's a natural part of development that we now have to be intentional with. I don't know if that helps put this whole thing in the right context for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Awesome, awesome. So now, to your question on when to give a child a phone. Um, Child development, I cannot say this particular age because children develop at different rates in different environments. However,
Hmm.
I think under 10 should be restricted from having smartphones. Under 10, they can have access to yours from 6, they can have access to yours, but under 10, I wouldn't recommend they have a smartphone. If you must leave a phone with them because you would want to communicate when you're out of the house, you can put the on smartphone. I don't know how to categorize it as now. Okay, you can put it on smartphone, but I would rather recommend children under 10 shouldn't have a smartphone. Children under 10 to 13 can have a smartphone, but highly supervised. Highly supervised. 10 to 13. And then from 14, because of growing into independence, you can now make them have their own phone. A lot of parents will say different things, but like I said, depending on the context or rather the environment of development in the home, they are some. I was shocked to hear um, what's his name, the owner of Cocharis Moto, say they had no TV and all that in his house for his children till they finish school. And that man is a billionaire. And I'm asking myself, what is the phone helping my children achieve when we have not made billions like that, man? But the goal here is more of discipline than just the phone. So if you even teach children how to be disciplined with the phone, then you find out that at the age they get a phone, they will be able to relate. Well, my children have an interesting way of jumping into my sessions. Can I finish? Can I get back to you? She just woke up. But for me, I'll say from 10 below shouldn't own a smartphone. You may helping them help build their motor skills, help engage their learning, help make them create things. That technology now helps to enhance rather than make just allowing them just depend solely. One of the challenges we are having is while the world gets smarter, it's like we'll be raising dumb children because
Hmm.
they have all the yes. I had a conversation with my son and asked him to go asked him a question. He went on ChatGPT and got a summary of the thing, and he came to tell me, "Oh, sir, ChatGPT gave me the summary." And then I took him to Wikipedia and I gave him that same thing to read. And he was reading, he was like, oh wow. He was discovering new things about the simple thing he found in ChatGPT. So, when he gets to read, and ChatGPT cannot help him read. When he gets to learn to read, he sees the value. He now understands how to make research, process information. Then he can use it, and then ChatGPT can help him put those things together and make more meaning out of it. So, if we do not train our children earlier enough, what will happen is that we'll raise them with smart device while they become dumb children.
Hmm. Raising children with smart device. Wow. God will help us in Jesus' name. So I
Amen. He
also
has helped.
wanted
No,
to
no,
ask.
God has helped us. We should accept the help. He has helped us. Yeah, we should accept it.
So what I wanted to ask again in relating to gadgets, having a tablet, having a phone, or having a PC, which do you recommend in the house for young children? Okay, then the smart TV. I know the smart TV has always been a family thing, abi, but the phone, the tablet, or the laptop, which one keeps them safer, per se, from unwanted content?
Hmm. So goal is the goal of your having this device should be the first question. Why do you want to have this device? So I'm asking that because if you do not know, like popularly said by Miles Monroe, when purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. Why do you want these devices? I want my
Hmm.
children to, you know, it's funny. It's funny that the Chinese that create all these things don't use them the way we do.
True.
Very funny. Yeah, the Chinese create all this, but if you go to their homes, they are very disciplined with technology, but they are the ones creating it. So is to ask you, what do you want? You want to communicate with your child. If it's communication, what are the other ways you can communicate? Now, I know parents may not always be in the same. Um, some who travel because of their work, like me. I just returned after 2 weeks home. My wife has a smartphone. If I want to talk to my children, I use her phone to talk to the children. So they do not need a phone. If I needed to communicate, at worst, I have neighbors that I can call. Please, can you get to my house? Can you help me check XYZ? Communication is key. So I am able to communicate. I have my gate man who I also, time to time, give me XYZ reports and get my son to speak to me, through your phone. So if it's communication, are there other ways you can communicate? So you need to be clear. That's number one. So if it's communication, are there other ways you can communicate? If you are out of the country, are there other ways you can communicate? It's number one. The other thing is it's entertainment. If it's entertainment, do you how much engagement do you want them to have? If you have a tablet, trust me, if you have a laptop, these children can easily walk their way around. If you have a smart TV, you can easily control that from also anywhere you are. I would rather a smart TV. But if they want to be productive, I would say a tab or a laptop. Depends on you. Me, I'd rather give my son a laptop. But in all this, it's not just getting this; it's what you want to achieve. Because I want to achieve this. I've discussed with him. There's a time on your this. If you get anywhere that we have agreed you shouldn't go, I'm going to lock your laptop, and can do that from where I am. So when he sees it's locked, he knows he has exceeded the time limit, or the laptop locks on his own because it is installed there and it's being regulated. So our ability to help our children work, one of the things I do is not punishments. I tell him it's more of consequences. In life, there is no action you take that doesn't have a consequence. So you cannot just do life, as though nothing is happening. It has consequence. So when you do this happens. The consequence. So that helps you become more intentional, or help them become more intentional with what they do, when they do, and how they do it.
Well, thank you, sir. So you said something about being able to monitor their devices from wherever you are. So how possible is that? Are there? Can you just put us through the next 30 seconds or 1 minute how parents can actually monitor what their children do online? Are there apps? Are there devices for that?
Yeah. Um, the easiest one to use is the Google Family Link. Easiest thing. You can just say it's a free app to download from Google. It's the easiest thing.
Please, what's the name
Just
again?
the
Google what?
family Google Link.
Okay, family Google link. Okay.
Yes, family Google Link is the easiest one. Then for iPhone users, I think they have the Apple Screen Time. And there are other things you can do. Probably in another session, parents can take my number, send me a message up. I can put up a small session after this where I teach them some basic settings they can do for safe search on YouTube, putting YouTube on restricted mode, making your browsers child safe. It will help them or protect them from cyberbullying, pornography, predators, and scams, and what have you.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Then
Thank you. So looking for
yes, you can place on unrestricted access. Some of these apps also, if you go to their setting and you read certain things, so your children can also go and falsify their age, to get access into this. But there's, I mentioned the rescue time. Rescue time is free, but there's also some of all these apps, and there are a lot more can help you get give your children controlled access and really track what they do, and then send message if they visit. There's one internet nanny. If they visit any pornographic sites, it sends you an email and all that. Just a whole lot that you can do. But for me, in all this, while parents should, and I will recommend, why parents should have all this in place, the most powerful and important of all the apps is your ability to engage and communicate with your children. Once they
Mm,
build that trust with you, then that is stronger than any of these apps.
mm. Wow. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
God bless you. Thank you for this session. Parents, I hope you've heard. I know you have listened, and I know you would replay and also get more. Looking forward to the session. Okutija will disturb you. You have committed yourself to do a session to help parents. I'll disturb you. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
IJK is saying, wow, what an amazing session. Yes, what an amazing session it's
Thank
been.
you.
Just before you give your final words, everyone, the last session is for everybody. It's everybody's session. Invite everybody you know. Invite grannies or grandpas, empty nesters, people whose children have all left the house. Tell them to come. There is something to learn this evening. Everybody, the last session is everyone's session. Please tell them to come and be a part of today's session. This last session, our last session is for 6 p.m. and we're having Reverend Cosme Ileloge come take us on understanding your role in the lives of your adult children, and then he will take the episcopal blessing. If you have been here all through from start up until now, please don't go without the blessing. So he's going to be talking to us about your role. Now you no longer have that power over them like you used to, but what is your role in their lives? Then he will take the episcopal blessing. Please don't miss out on any of this. 6 p.m. is the time. That's to say we have just less than 20 minutes, just about 20 or 22 minutes for the next session to start. Please come, invite everybody you know to come. Is Coach TJ still there or has he gone?
I'm here.
Is he still there?
I'm here.
Sir, let's have your final word and then we'll draw the curtain.
Thank you very much. I want to leave this with every parent watching me. Parenting is hard. Let's call it what it is. It's hard. It's not a walk in the park. Don't think nobody just does parenting like this. And in 2025, 2026, parenting is even harder. And that is
Mm,
it's harder than it has ever been because no generation of parents before us have faced the specific challenges that we face when it has to do with technology. Our parents did not have to set screen times for us. They did not have to explain online predictors, TikTok algorithm, to 10-year-olds and all
mm,
that. We are navigating uncharted territory basically. And that deserves some respect and grace. So, one of the things I always usually do in my sessions is to tell you to tap your back and tell yourself that you are doing well. So give yourself some grace today. You attended this session because you care. That's why you're here. And that caring is foundational.
mm,
Everything else can be built on that. So take a deep breath and tell yourself you are
mm,
doing well. While the best time to
okay.
build boundaries was, when you gave your child the first phone, the next best time to put the right boundaries is now. Remember, technology is a tool, and the parent is the guide. And connection is greater than restrictions. Lead by example. Thank you so much.
Mm. Well, thank you so much, sir. You've all had it. Thank you for being here this evening. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this session. We see you again by 6 p.m. God bless you. Bye bye.